Many beginner photographers have this question: what is optical zoom and what is digital zoom? In this video, I am going to decipher the difference between optical and digital zoom once and for all. So stick around till the end of the video. First, let us understand what do you mean by zoom. Zoom is nothing but the magnification of the subject without getting close to the subject. It is achieved in two ways in the camera. First is optically. In optical zoom, what happens is the lens element, which basically are the glass elements in the lens that move forward and backward to give you the desired magnification. Okay? Whereas in digital zoom, there is no movement of the lens element. It is actually the picture which is cropped by the internal algorithm or the software of the camera, and then it is blown out to fill the entire frame. Okay, so that's the difference in technical terms about optical and digital zoom. So let me just play an illustration for you so that it's pretty clear. So these are the glass elements I was talking about which are present in the lens. They are convex lenses. Okay. The center part is bulging, and then there is this concave lens which has a depreciation in the center of the lens. With the help of these two lenses, the light gets reflected and it helps in zoom. See how it is done, right? So the light gets reflected and enters the convex lens. It gets refracted and the concave lens moves forward and backward between the two lenses, which helps you achieve the desired magnification. Right, so this is zoom and this is actually reduction. Right, so let us thank the creator of this particular illustration, Jordy3736 on YouTube. Thank you for illustration. I hope you don't mind using it because it was quite useful. Now that we have understood what optical zoom is, let's try and figure out what digital zoom is. So in digital zoom, what happens? The picture is actually taken, and then the camera's internal algorithm or software, whatever we call it, physically crops the taken image. Okay, it crops the taken image and then it is blown out to fill the entire frame. Okay, say for example, as you can see in the picture, if your picture is about 12 megapixels, okay, without cropping, then with a crop picture, it will not be 12, but as you can see, 8 megapixel. The numbers are just indicative to give you an idea. So basically what is happening, as you can see, the pixels in the periphery of the frame are deleted when you go for a digital crop. They are completely deleted, and therefore the difference between 12 megapixel and 8 megapixel. So reduction in megapixel, reduction in resolution is equal to reduction in picture quality. Okay, so this is the most, this is the disadvantage of digital zoom, right? Whereas in optical zoom, it has no bearing on the megapixels. Okay, so the megapixels are all preserved. So the quality that you get is better than a digital zoom. Now let me demonstrate to you the difference between optical and digital zoom with the help of a live demonstration. First, let us try and understand what is the relationship between focal length and angle of view. Okay. As you can see in the illustration here, I am referring to the center illustration. Okay. So the relationship is inverse in nature. Okay. So greater the focal length, narrow is the angle of view. Smaller the focal length, wider is the angle of view. Okay. Just refer to this illustration. 14 mm focal length will give you 106 degrees of angle of view. So you will be able to see right from the corner of one eye to the corner of another eye. Okay. So as the focal length increases from 14 to 28, you see angle of view decreases 76 degrees. 50 mm it is 46 degrees, 200 mm 12 degrees. Okay, so it keeps on narrowing, and that gives you the desired zoom. Okay, can you see in the pictures below? at 14 mm, you can see the entire structure from left to right with all the 5 towers. Okay, let me just zoom in to that picture so that it's pretty clear. Right. Can you see this? At 14 mm, you can see the entire structure. At 28 mm, the angle of view contracts, and therefore there is a cropping on the periphery of the frame. At 50 mm, the cropping is enhanced, and at 200 mm, you see only the center structure, the center tower, whereas everything else is cropped out. Okay, so this is how this optical zoom performs, or actually gets done in the camera. Now let me take you to a live example, live shoot. I will show it with the help of a live shoot. So here I am in software which streams my camera feed live. So my camera is pointed towards our model. Okay, and the focal length currently is 24 mm. Right, so it's a wide angle. You get the broader perspective. So let me focus and capture. Okay, at 24 mm, this is the perspective I have captured. Let's check it out. Can you see this? Full screen. This is the perspective at 24 mm. Now what I do, I increase the focal length from 24 to 30 to 40 to 50, 60, 70. Okay, so now you see how the zoom has magnified the image. Okay, so increase in the focal length is decreasing the angle of view, which is giving you the actual magnification. But with this, the focal plane also changes, and therefore the subject is out of focus. Let me refocus and capture. Right, so this is optical zoom. I am just coming to the digital zoom so that you understand the difference now. Okay, this is at 70 mm and this one is at 24 mm. So you see the difference in perspective. Compare side by side. Fair enough? Great. Now, how does the camera achieve the digital zoom? As I said, okay, there is no movement in the lenses or elements, no change in focal length. What actually happens is, so the camera actually crops the image and you get this perspective now. Okay, so this is digital zoom. So what has happened in digital zoom? Let me just go back. So only the pixels in this square is maintained or retained, whereas all the pixels from the periphery are deleted. The resolution is deteriorated, isn't it? So what is the difference between the two? This is digital optical zoom. The quality is much better, whereas this is digital zoom where the quality is compromised. Okay, let me just save it so that I further explain how the quality has deteriorated. Export, right, here it is. Can you see? There are two files now. One file 693 is of 15.7 MB, whereas the other file 692 is only 2.5 MB. So you know which one is which. Fine. So this is optical zoom, whereas this is digital zoom. Fine. So let's check out the optical zoom. Okay, no problem. Let's zoom it 100%. Absolutely no problem, because the pixels and the resolution has been conserved in optical zoom. In comparison to digital zoom, let's check it out. Okay, so this is the digital zoom picture. Let's zoom it. Can you see? Can you see how the grains have started appearing in it? So the quality has deteriorated, the file size has reduced. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the difference between optical and digital zoom. Keep asking more questions on photography and I would be happy to answer them back.